Welcome to She Equips Yourself.
Updates.
I'm Stav.
And I'm Mac.
And we're here to update you on some things that we've talked about in recent videos.
Stav, what do you have to update our viewers with?
Well, I have an update on the sticky holster. Our first update today is on the sticky holster. I mentioned this in one of my 12 days of carry videos, where I carried and showed you how I carry every day for 12 days straight. I uploaded a video, and one of the holsters I used was this. So I wanted to give you an update on what I think of it now that I've been using it for a few weeks. And I was carrying it yesterday and just thinking about how much I love it, so I wanted to share it with you guys. I've noticed that it does in fact get stickier as you wear it throughout the day, because it has this sticky finish on the outside, hence the name. So as it heats up, it sticks to your body. So as you wear it throughout the day, it becomes stickier. And you're supposed to wear it with a tight enough waistband where it doesn't come out as you draw your firearm. But when you take it off at the end of the day, it's like, it really sticks to your skin, which is good because you don't want it popping out by accident. They sent me a belly band, a leg holster, and a bunch of these just regular sticky holsters. So they have a bunch of different products. I used the leg holster a couple times, really like it. I have yet to try out the belly band, so I'm gonna give you another update on that in the future when I try that out. But I did wanna let you guys know that I love this sticky holster. My sister's been using it for years and I should have listened to her sooner and tried it out, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time. So I've been carrying my Glock 42 in it. I love it. Just be mindful of the sizes because they have a bunch of different sizes depending on your firearm. They all have a sizing chart on the back. I'll link all of this information below in case you guys want to check them out. But if you're looking for a very low profile, easy to carry holster, and you wear a tight enough waistband, either with your leggings or jeans or whatever, this is something you should try out. I'll post the video up here that shows the first day that I tried this out during my 12 days of carry so that you guys can check it out. Back to you, Mac.
Well, thank you, Stav. My update is going to be on the EZ series and the Equalizer, which we recently did a video on. You can check it out right here. When we first did the video, I was basically new to those firearms. I kind of knew of them, but I hadn't spent any time on those firearms. And I have now since gone to the range several times. I've done some research, I've handled them a bunch at home, and I have a little bit more information I'd like to pass on to you in regards to the EZ series. Now, the point of the EZ series is that it's easy to manipulate the firearm. The magazines are easier to load because they have a little tab on the side you can grab with your hand. So there's a little tab on the side, not unlike a 22, where you can pull down the follower and then therefore load the magazines. And I like that feature because I never use any device for loading magazines. So it does make it a little bit easier. I went to the range the other day and it was like 22 degrees out. And I think that that made my life a little bit easier because it's cold loading magazines. So it's easier to load magazines in the EZ series. The other part of the EZ series is that the slides are easier to manipulate. They have a nice little tab on the back of the slide that allows you to grab it. Their serrations are pretty good, but the actual spring tension is less than any other firearm of equal caliber. So if you have any form of hand strength issues, whether you have difficulty pulling the slide to the rear or difficulty loading magazines, the EZ series was designed to make your life a little bit easier for shooting and going to the range. And I think that Smith & Wesson did an outstanding job on coming up with that idea and creating a firearm series for people with reduced strength situations to allow them to carry semi-automatics. I think before the EZ series came out, many people carried revolvers who were uncomfortable with manipulating the slide or uncomfortable with loading magazines. And there's nothing wrong with a revolver. I very much like revolvers. However, more ammunition is usually better, so they can carry a firearm that carries more ammunition and most likely recoils a little bit less. And that is always good. Probably reloads faster as well. But after I've had the opportunity to shoot the EZ9, the EZ30 Super, the EZ380, and the Equalizer in 9mm, I have a difference of opinion on who should be using a Smith & Wesson EZ.
We interrupt this news story to bring you an important announcement. Our online courses are currently on sale for Valentine's Day. So if you're looking for the perfect gift for your loved one, or you've been wanting to take the courses yourself but have been waiting for a sale, this is the time to do it. They're 50% off, including the bundle, so you can enroll in both Armed and Confident Academy and the Practical Handgun Academy at a discounted rate on top of the 50% off if you use the code VDAY24 at checkout. So don't miss this opportunity to enroll someone who's been wanting to get more comfortable carrying a gun, learn more about guns, get more comfortable at the range, and get real live fire training that will actually help you become a better self-defender. Back to you, Mac.
Without question, the 380 EZ, in my opinion, which I think was the first one to come out, was an absolute home run for Smith & Wesson. It is designed really well. It has features on it that I think a lot of people who would be in the market for this firearm would like. It has a very nice safety right here where you push it up to go safe on, push it down. That is very good as far as how it incorporates in your hand. If you have a firearm with a safety that's difficult to manipulate, that's garbage. That's a terrible design. You want your safety to be very easy to manipulate. It does both lefty and righty. It's an ambidextrous safety. Way to go, Smith & Wesson, on your safety. It has a safety in the back of the firearm, which I do not like as much. However, people that are slightly uncomfortable with hand strength might like that feature because they just like the idea of having the safest firearm they possibly can get. So this weapon will not fire unless you depress the grip safety. So when I hold it, I don't even notice it's there. I've heard people complain about it. If you took it off or put it on and didn't really tell me, I wouldn't even notice it. I could shoot just fine. So it has a nice feature there. It also has a chamber indicator. When you're loaded, this little flag right here pops up and you know that you have a loaded firearm. All of these things are great. The slide is super easy to manipulate. The magazines are very easy to load. And on top of it, it has a full rail, so you could use this firearm with all different types of devices, including tactical lights or lasers or any of that stuff. So it was just a very well thought out, well planned, and well executed firearm for a very specific market. And I don't know if they could have done any better. I'm very pleased with it. It's super fun to shoot. It's got extremely low recoil. This one is chambered in 380, and I couldn't be happier with it. Now that's where Smith & Wesson kind of stopped with their genius, in my opinion. They could have stopped there, but marketing is what it is, and money is what it is, and they want to make more money. So what they did is they then created the Smith & Wesson 9EZ. Now the 9EZ, which is the exact same firearm as the 30 Super EZ, they're just different calibers, has very much the same features. This particular one does not have a thumb safety, but other than that, it's a little bigger, it's a little heavier, but my problem is this. The whole point of the EZ series is to market towards people with compromised hand strength, and that usually leads itself right into recoil control. So if you're getting a 380 EZ because you have compromised hand strength, you're going to want lower recoil. So the 380 EZ is going to be absolutely the gun you want. I shot the 9 EZ next to the 9 Shield. I shot it with a 9C, which is a gun I'm going to talk about a little bit later, which is this firearm. I shot it against my duty gun, which is the 4-inch barrel M&P 2.0. And I also shot it against a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. And what I can tell you is, I find that the EZ series of firearms have a little bit more recoil than they should based on their size and weight. And the reason why is if this slide can come to the rear much easier so you can manipulate it, it's also coming to the rear easier or faster every time you pull the trigger. So in my opinion, you might be able to manipulate the gun well, but it has more recoil. And I do not think that that's a great function for people with compromised hand strength. So if you have a desire to own an EZ because of the reasons they designed the EZ, I would say fantastic. Go get a 380 EZ. We can talk about ammunition choices later, but that would be a great gun for you to own. If you say, Mac, I have trouble manipulating the slide and I have trouble loading my magazines, so I want to get a 9 EZ, I don't love that for you. The added size, the added weight, and the added recoil, I would steer you in a different direction. I'm not super happy with the 9 EZ, and that goes for right into the Equalizer as well. We recently had an opportunity to shoot the Equalizer, and I can tell you that as I've shot it more and more and more, I think that the Equalizer is an absolute update on the EZ series. I prefer its design better. I like its more aggressive serrations. I like that you can put an optic on it. I like that they kept everything else the same. It's basically just an EZ 2.0. It's a better EZ. I wish they made a 380 Equalizer. I think that would be an absolute another home run for the EZ system, is to have, 10, 13, and 15 round magazines in 380. I think that would be fantastic. But the Equalizer and the 9 EZ both have that recoil situation where the slide is probably coming to the rear a little too fast because of the reduced spring weight. Now, I did not have any malfunctions or any problems that I would be sharing with you. But I fear that as these guns get dirtier, and if I took them to a class where I was going to shoot a lot of rounds, it would make me nervous that that spring is not coming forward as hard as it probably should be. So it might cause malfunctions. Again, it has not caused any malfunctions, but I feel like it could. I feel like that spring should be slamming home pretty hard to make sure I chamber the next round. And personally, I want the toughest spring that I can get on my firearm without causing a malfunction while I'm shooting. Because the stronger the spring, it's like a better shock absorber when you're shooting. So the Equalizer in 9, the 9 EZ, to me, if you're looking at those firearms because you want the reduced slide tension and you want those extra help with those magazines, I would steer you in a different direction. First off, if you don't mind the size, I couldn't say enough good things about this Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 4-inch barrel. This is my duty gun. I carry it every day I go to work. I carry it off duty oftentimes. It's basically the same size as a Glock 19. Eventually I'll be able to put a red dot on it. It is just an absolute fantastic shooter. This is probably, I have been issued many guns in my police career. This is my absolute favorite duty gun I've ever had. It is just, it just fits me. It just works for me. I can shoot very well with this gun. I couldn't be happier with it. But if I didn't want to carry this, I wanted something smaller, I owned a 9C for a very, very long time. And this gun, I taught classes with. It was an excellent shooter. It has a flush 10-round magazine. You can also get larger magazine. I think it goes up to a 12-round magazine that you can put your pinky on. But the big winner is you can take 15 or 17-round magazines and also make those fit in there, and then that all works. So you have that 3.5-inch barrel, half-inch shorter barrel, basically the same footprint minus that, and you can put all these full-size 15-round, 17, 10, 12-round magazines in it. It absorbs recoil better than the EZ series. So there's a lot of different options. So I did some weights here, and I'm going to have Stav pop all the weights right up here so you can see them. And every weight I'm going to give you is with a full magazine, and I'll tell you the numbers. So the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 with the 4-inch barrel and a 16 rounds of ammunition in the gun is 32.9 ounces. The M&P 9C, take a half-inch off the barrel, and we're going to load that with 11 rounds, which is a 10-round mag, one in the chamber. That's 29.5 ounces. So those two are relatively close. You're getting a half-inch barrel shorter, a few less rounds of ammunition, but nothing earth-shattering. If you go to the Equalizer with 11 rounds, now you're going to have 27 ounces. So you've dropped off a little bit right there. The Smith & Wesson 9EZ with only 9 rounds of ammunition, that's 27.6 ounces. So forget about that gun completely. If you like that, go to the Equalizer so you can have the higher magazine capabilities. You can get 10, 13, 15 round magazines for the Equalizer, and it functions every bit the same as the EZ. I don't agree with its function, but if you like it, get the Equalizer over the 9EZ. The Smith & Wesson 380 EZ, that's the gun that I think fits the niche the absolute best. That's only 21.6 ounces fully loaded with 9 rounds of 380. That's a significant reduction in weight right there. That's worth talking about. And then we also have the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus in 9mm. I did that weight with 11 rounds as well, and that's 25 ounces. So for me, if you're interested in an EZ pistol because you need an EZ pistol for your hands, I would 100% recommend that you go with the 380 EZ. If you are in the need, if you do not need an EZ pistol, you don't have any hand strength, I would not recommend any of the EZ series, including the Equalizer, for you. I would recommend that you go with the 9C, or even if you don't mind going even bigger, the 2.0 4-inch barrel. That's fantastic there. And if concealment is your number one reason why you're carrying and you're very concerned about the size, then I would go with the Shield Plus. You still have 11 or 13 or even 15 rounds of ammunition, and it's lighter and it's slimmer. So it's harder to pull the slide. But again, if you don't need the EZ series, I wouldn't recommend you go with the EZ series. So I've had a chance to shoot a lot of these, and that's basically where I am for your update. I hope that wasn't too long.
Thank you, Mac. For our next update, I wanted to let you guys know about a new offering I have on my website. You can jump on a call with me either through Zoom or just a phone call, and we can do a 30-minute, what I'm calling a concealed carry consult. So if you have questions about how to carry for specifically your body type and lifestyle, or you have questions about a particular firearm that you're carrying or want to carry, we can jump on a call, get to know a little bit about each other's situation, and I can find out how to help you in that particular subject. So I'm going to include the link below where you can fill out the form and find out more about that. But if you're interested, make sure you check that out. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of She Equips Herself Updates.